funny how this shit go. Truth of the matter is, nobody give a fuck about you more than you. The unfortunate truth. The fake don't care for your fate while lost in this maze. It's either be played or become self-made. Facts! I had to get on my grind. Excuses be wasting my time. I need the bag, I need the cash. All of this money is mine. I am not passing the piff, cause they only around when you lit. You wasn't with me in the gym. I don't recall all you shit.
I had to get on my grind. Used to be with my time. I need the bag, I need the cash. All of the money is mine. I turned no water into wine. I parted the steam in the time. Now you wanna drip on my side. Can't swim, bitch, you gon' drown.
I remember them days, broke as fuck, pitching on the block. My man had the white and I had the weed. Running from cops, had to get off the scene. Risking our life for some green and some dreams. Burning up tips to be wrapping them up. This ain't for Christmas, we flipping them bucks. Just another rebel with a master plan. Bitch, I want it all like the white man. Need it all like I'm penny pitching. The way I'm flipping, think I'm Richard Nixon. Got my rebels gripping like the Cobra living. Different rap, you can tell I'm gifted. Speaking bars like a jail visit. I came in this game just for one mission. All of my rebels just pay attention. I'm being witness to that new shit. They get your mind right, that third eye sight. Gotta stay woke, cause they sleeping on me. Circle real small, I'm the only homie. Dirty by my lonely, ain't no you and I. Me, myself, and I is how I came ride. I came from the bottom with nothing to eat. When I needed help, y'all did nothing for me. Out in these streets and I just had to get it. Robbing alone, cause y'all wasn't with it. Self-made, now I'm counting these digits. Anybody said I wouldn't do it, now I did it. I come from the bottom, I come from the trenches. A nigga been poor, but be rich in a second. I started with nothing, but I died a legend. I do shit, there's no second guessing.
Yeah. Welcome to motherfucking Street. Shout out to motherfucking Dallas Rose. Bang. Rebels Empire. Your girl, Fame Jackson. I let my core. I don't back and forth. When I shoot, I score. I don't miss the more. My truck, Chanel full of once are done. That nigga here hoard. Got money that's good, make him do the chores. Spend it how I should. Became real thoughtful. Them days I was sleeping on the couch. Back on the wall, I ain't had shit now.
But we are.
It's
Who
alright.
are we?
We are the Podcvst with Fame Jackson and Dallas Rose.
That's right. The Fame Jackson podcast. Everybody's here tonight. Who we got? We got my man NICK24K back.
Sorry.
Thank you for coming back, Nick.
Early guest.
You know how we back.
Okay.
Logic Q, Lou, of course, on the board. Who else, Fame?
We got Sean in the building. We got Alicia in the building. We got Julian in the building. And we also have Shaq in the motherfucking building, okay? On High Street. He said Lou.
I said Lou.
Yeah.
I covered Lou.
Say
Yeah.
Lou
I
again,
covered
fucking
who he-
Lou, we forgot to turn your camera. Go turn on the picture-in-picture out there. You know how to do it?
Fucking
Yeah.
see how that
Move
shit.
over,
I'm
yeah.
thinking that, yeah. Seeing shit.
I want to thank you guys so much for each and every one of you being on High Street today. It's fucking lit, you know, for you to take time out of your day in the snow, drive down here. I drove an hour, and I think you guys drove 30 minutes plus.
Yeah.
Like
40 minutes plus, yeah. So
3 minutes?
40,
He said 3.
30.
technically
Oh.
50 minutes.
I let her call.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm from the book, so
shit.
that was the truth.
Okay. But I appreciate it anyways because you could have sat your ass home and watched TV, okay? So you being here with us is dope, okay? Dallas is leaving me.
I'm going to go help Lou with the picture-in-picture. It's on the camera.
Today we have a very important topic that I think it's important for sit right here.
Hey, yeah. There we go.
There we go. My guy
Get
came
him
back.
a microphone.
Had
Get him a
that drink
microphone.
in him. Shit.
It's in there. You can take
You
it
can
out of
take it
there.
out and do the normal shit. Yeah.
Nah, I'm good with this. We good.
So I need everybody to sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. Let's get this show on the fucking road.
As you said, I got to fix one more thing.
That's the only thing that was.
And then Dallas gets up.
1738.
Okay?
Benty.
Facts.
That was when you trying to get shiggy.
Shit.
Shiggy, that's
Yo, look at this dude's face. He said.
We're going to. So we have one rule in this motherfucking.
Right.
Hey. We have one rule. Don't talk. The over
mic.
talking. It's bad for like the viewers. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
do
yeah.
not do the over talking when one person at a time. Maybe 2 people at a time.
Boom, there it is.
Okay.
There it is, man. It's just crazy.
Awesome.
There we go, all set.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's get it.
Everybody's still good. Good. I love it. When everybody's still, I hear crickets. That's my thing. Okay? That means I'm all yours.
Check one more thing for me. Just make sure. I don't see the
Crickets
broadcast
must be
there.
busting, huh?
Just check the
Yo, crickets must be
Yeah.
busting,
You know
huh?
what I'm saying? I'm supposed to see
Them
it.
crickets must be busting, huh?
If that's my thing.
Crickets.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
like I was saying, we do have a very important topic today that I feel like every artist, every creative, every aspired creative artist should be aware of, you know, because this is it's mainstream talk, and we usually don't have mainstream talk, right, Dallas?
Usually we're focused on the guests. Shit, yeah.
We're focused on our city,
Yeah.
but this has a lot to do with our city. So basically, right, what are you willing to do to make it? What the fuck are you willing to do to be an actress, to be an actor, to be a celebrity star, to be the top artist? What the fuck are you willing to do? Okay, that's what it's about. Now, in mainstream today, previously, T.I. and Tiny were the victims because they're, you know, accused of sexual assault and all this other allegations and stuff like that. Okay, and not that these things don't happen. Of course, these things happen. But if you're in that line of work, right?
Yeah.
So let me just give it the lamest terms. If you're a prostitute, right? If you sell pussy for a living, right?
Oldest profession in the world.
Huh? The oldest profession in the world.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah.
Somebody has to
That's
do
a-
it, right?
It's one of them.
Somebody has to do it.
If you are.
Not required, but
If you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are loving that fucking thing.
Sucking the shit out of this bitch.
Give me that shit.
Someone take that
Yeah,
from
shit.
right now.
Give me that shit.
out of control.
Yeah,
That shit
control
gotta go.
fame.
Okay.
Sorry, if you are a prostitute was your question, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're a prostitute, okay, and that's your living, that's how you feed your kids, and you know you pay your rent like
Can't
that,
have kids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
right? That's how you.
That's tough.
Yeah, people
Sure.
have kids, and that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
I know
Right,
a lot
right.
of people.
That's like that, yeah.
Yeah, so being in that line of work, we all understand, even if you're not in that line of work, the danger in that line of work.
Okay.
Rape, you could be drugged, you could be killed.
Yeah.
We're all aware of that, right? But as an individual, you choose to go down that lane anyways. You choose to be a prostitute anyways, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Fair. Yeah, that's your choice, yeah.
so you guys are gonna hate me. That's fine.
They prostitute for a reason. I was gonna say they either prostitute to feed their kids or
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
another story in my opinion. You know
It
what I'm
depends
saying?
on what they prostitute.
I'm pretty sure no
They're
women
not
wake
just
up in the
doing-
morning and be like, yo, I'm about to just go
They
bust
doing
it
it.
out.
Well,
like,
it's just
No,
comes
no,
down
I
to it.
know
That's the only way
people-
they can get money.
Man, you
No,
But you have a larger point, right?
I have a larger
I mean, I'm
point.
pretty
My
sure there's
point exact is that people, I'm talking about the ones that do it for a living. Now let's talk about mainstream artists.
Right.
Let's talk about mainstream artists that really do this for a living. Amber Rose, China. Throw names at me. China.
Cardi B,
Cardi B.
Cash dog.
Cash Doll. Okay.
Nicki Minaj. Well, I mean,
Well, they're rappers. No,
Well,
these are rappers. No.
You talking about porn stars?
No,
and shit?
no. I'm talking about like video vixens,
Oh,
prostitutes.
people, oh, like Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian,
Oh, we talking
Amber
about the OnlyFans
Rose.
bitches.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that
Girls
don't
that
got
use
no
their
talent
body.
for real.
Yeah, for
To make
the
money.
To make a
that
living,
bread.
yes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
We on the same page
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay. So these women, I'm gonna use China as an example because really that's Black China's job within this music industry. Anybody knows China for anything else? No. We just know that she's known for stripping, fucking, and sucking famous people, right?
Yeah.
That's what we
Okay.
known her for, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So the new allegations.
I don't know her for that. I don't even know her.
What do you know China for? Her makeup? Cause you lying.
Oh,
She got some nice eyebrows.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but
I
definitely all
know
I've
she has
heard, yeah.
sex. I know she has sex videos about her.
So there you go. That's
Well,
all
who
you know
don't
about
have
it. That's
sex
all you know
videos?
about it.
Everyone has sex videos.
All right, so let me go.
Good.
Put it right here.
yeah.
So let's get to the main point
that's
of
perfect.
this, okay? I got you. Oh, you got it. Cool.
Good.
So let's get to the main point of this, right? T.I. and Tiny were just accused of these allegations as well. You feel what I'm saying? Weinstein, the Hollywood guy, right?
Yep.
Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
Weinstein, whatever his name is, right?
He's like
He's
the
not
biggest
right.
name.
He's the biggest, one of the biggest names.
Yeah.
That dude is not right for the shit that he did. But this is like me going into a job interview, right? I go into a job interview and I know my value. I've been in this field for 7 years, 8 years, right? I know I should be getting $25, $30 an hour. If I go to a job interview and they ask me because they do ask you that, what's your desired salary, right? And I tell them why, and they say, oh, well, you know what? It's the pandemic and things are a little slow right now. And right now we're at a flat rate of $17, right? $17 is not good for me. So if I go in there and they tell me $17 is their flat rate, right then and there I decide. I usually make $25 to $30 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I feel like that's still not enough for me to live on, right? But I go to that job, times is hard, and what I do, I take the job, the $17 an hour. I cut myself short. Why? Because it's desperation, whatever I needed this job for.
Better than nothing.
Right, but I know that's not my value. That's not what I should be working for.
Yeah.
Right?
You got higher expectations
Right.
for that type of
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Facts.
So now that I take on this job, months go by, I'm complaining. I'm fucking complaining. I'm not making enough. I'm fucking complaining. I don't have enough money. But I chose to work there.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right,
My
right.
point exact is this. I didn't have to choose the $17 an hour under desperate situations.
Right.
Just because I'm desperate and I need the money now, don't mean I take the $17 an hour. I could have kept
Yeah.
searching and declined that. Like, hey, I've been in this field 8 years. I deserve $25, $30.
Right.
If he said no, then I walk out.
Yeah.
Weinstein, I go in for a fucking movie role. He tell me, you gotta suck a little bit of dick. You gotta suck a little bit of dick for this role. It's all yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do I not have a choice?
Yeah.
I have a choice, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
why will I suck some dick, right? Get onto the movie role. 20 years later, I'm crying sexual assault.
Yeah.
Why am I crying wolf 20 years later when I decided to suck a little bit of dick for that role?
True.
I didn't go to
True.
school. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I went through all the obstacles to get to Weinstein. But then he proposed what he proposed to me.
And
You
make
gotta
that
know
choice.
all details though before you.
There's
go
no
that
old
route.
details. It's black and white, my nigga.
It's
If
not
Dave
black and white
Chappelle,
if you don't know all the details.
No.
Hang on,
No, there's no
so-
details needed.
So check it out. So she's
Talking
talking
about the
about
role, yeah.
she's talking about women
I mean,
that have come out, like basically the
Now
whole
you
Me
talking
Too
about
thing.
Let him talk.
I didn't hear the real
Talking
story about it.
So like I don't think that we need to get too specific about Weinstein because then
So
we're
she
gonna
got
get caught up.
raped or something?
Shut
Hold
up.
up, hold up.
Just let somebody, let him talk. Let him talk at one time, and then you can ask your question, and then you can ask your question, okay?
So the Weinstein example, it was like the biggest example, right, of the whole Me Too thing, where like women came out and said we've been, sexually assaulted or whatever word it is,
Abuse, yeah.
abused in order to get where we wanted to go professionally.
Jesus
So I think the point that you're making, Fame, right, is that as fucked up as it is, it's still their choice to say, all right, let's do it. I want this role.
People are weak. Y'all are fucking
Yo,
weak.
but at the same,
I don't give a fuck.
I just want to add. You go into the role, you say no, copy, cool. And then that nigga in his position, you never gonna make it anyway. Some people don't got the same mentality capacity.
That makes a
Yeah.
person
But-
weak. You
but the whole
devalue
point- yo,
yourself.
Fame,
Because
my
you're
nigga,
degrading
that-
yourself.
You're
But
degrading-
but that is a fact. But at the same token, this shit should just not fucking happen. Period.
Yeah.
It's the
So what I'm saying is on some man shit, the niggas shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Everybody's not like you. Everybody don't have the same tenacity. So you can't say my reality is every fucking
I was
woman.
about to get up
So
there and
Rick,
say
before you
that.
come at them between the decision, you need to come at that man because that shit should never happen.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah, that's true.
If they whack, then they just fucking whack. Get the fuck out of my office. You can be disrespectful, but you add an addition into a situation that may be a little fucked up. So that's using responsibility. Now, yeah, you do got a point. But then at the same token, when you, depending on where you want to deliver your point, you got to also look at the entire circumstances on the situation too. Because if you don't know the details, they're sitting there and completely judging them based on the decision.
I'm
You
not
don't know
judging.
what's
It's my
surrounding it.
opinion, baby.
That's true.
Yeah, so
That's
I can
true.
have that.
And this is mine.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
So
It
it's
is.
mine.
Well, yeah, and I'm judging too because
That's
I'm
your judgment,
strongly
yeah.
opinionated about it, and I disagree with what you said too. Because, like I said, people are weak. Y'all are fucking weak. Okay, mentally weak, spiritually weak, emotionally weak. Okay, because you wasn't able to say no.
Yeah.
To fucking say no. That fucking simple.
Yeah.
And you know every circumstances they walked into, whether
Did
it was
you
allowed to or not. You know it.
Niggas didn't have no guns. There was no guns mentioned.
You don't
There was,
fucking know
was
that,
it
though.
mentioned? Did you hear
You
anything of that?
motherfucker
I
don't
read
know.
some shit about it,
You
nigga.
read some shit,
Yeah,
but you
there was
don't
never
fucking
no
know that.
guns
You
mentioned,
don't know
nothing.
that. You
Okay.
don't know
It's
that.
not like that though.
Hold on, let's
Cool.
let's
You
not
sit
get
down
caught
with
in
none of
details.
those
It's
women,
about
though,
the
like,
general example.
It's
right?
generally.
General
Right now.
example.
You
Listen.
talk about your
General
whole
example.
agenda backwards right now.
Listen. I don't give a fuck.
You're
I can
saying-
be wildin'. Listen.
You're saying
You're saying,
Listen, this is what I'm saying, right? You know. Okay.
Sometimes
under-
you don't know. Sometimes
you-
you just move with precaution. It's just the way.
You gotta know what you're getting into in the field of like what you're working
Yeah,
on. You
in
know
our
what I mean?
field,
Good.
in our
Yeah.
field, in
Okay.
our field, it's like we're used to it. And someone else that works the actual 9 to 5 that don't be in our field and that don't know nothing about that we be in, it's like it's different.
No, I still don't give a fuck. Like
It's
I
why
said.
You should
doing
say
that?
no, right?
Niggas just say no.
I know.
You gonna work for that $17, bitch? Don't complain.
No, yeah,
You
I
have a
mean,
choice.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
Exactly.
complain. Your
That's what it
career's
came
not
down to,
over.
is the choice.
Everybody
You know what I mean?
reality.
Like-
Your career's not over. There's more
Everybody
opportunity
lives in
out
the
there.
story.
There's
Everybody
more than
lives in the
Einstein.
story. Everybody lives in the city.
Well, I don't know. You
Niggas-
talking about Teeny?
Okay.
Tiny, whatever it is?
All right, so let me bring it back in, right? So Tiny and T.I. are the new allegations, right? Being alligated, whatever. And
Yeah.
so
What's the allegations again?
so ladies, grown ass women are coming out to say, oh, T.I. and Tiny will call me over and before I go inside of their house, they would give me a pill.
Ooh.
You're a grown ass person. They tell me if I don't take the pill, I cannot come in.
right.
I don't know.
So you-
That's what my wife
Yeah.
said.
The
I don't know.
door, my nigga.
So this is the new allegation. This is the T.I. and Tiny story. I'm explaining it, right?
Right.
So
Right.
bitches is coming out to say, oh, so this one girl that brought up the whole story, her and her friend, they go to T.I. and Tiny's house and the bodyguard offers them a pill. And they can't get inside without taking the pill.
Why do you want to get inside so badly?
Exactly.
That's the real
Bow.
Exactly,
Bow.
nigga.
Shit.
Because you either want the money or you
the
want
opportunity. Yeah.
the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So you decide. According to
That's the pills
her
they
quotes, according to her quotes,
take. You gotta.
according to what they were saying, they did not take. They took the pill. They gave them a soda and they spit the pill. Listen, and they spit the pill inside of the can of soda.
Okay.
But they had sex with T.I. and Tiny anyways
Without
for
the-
$32,000 each.
Without the pill.
$32,000 each. 20 fucking years later, you want to get these people fucking what? Fucked up, their lives and careers fucked up?
Yeah, that's the bullshit one.
You feel what I'm
Ah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
two
that's a
different
bullshit
cases.
one.
That one's different.
Yeah,
There's
that's what my wife
there's a couple comedians that like I love, right? There's Brian Callen.
Dave
Dave
Chappelle.
Chappelle.
What's
Dave motherfucking Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle didn't have
Shout out my
any.
nigga
Did he?
Dave.
No, but he speaks on
That
this.
nigga's funny
Oh
as
yeah,
fuck.
yeah, he does. But
That
yeah,
nigga
so
speaks
yeah,
true.
so
That
check it
nigga's
out. So
funny.
Brian Callen, right? Comedian,
Yeah, I
doing
fuck
really well, had one of the most popular podcasts online, and then these allegations came out against him that, like you said, 20 years ago, when he was like a young comedian, and there was other young comedians that he was hanging out with women, and he was a little bit higher up in the ranks. He would hit on him and shit like that, and this one woman like cheated on her husband with him basically, and then accused him of pushing it on her and kind of raping her.
That's
type thing.
tough.
You know what I
That's
mean?
tough.
Like she came out and said like 20 years ago, Brian Callen was really aggressive with me and this happened and I regretted it and all this shit like that, right? And then Brian Callen basically lost his whole podcast because the internet just turns on you in that happens, right? And then Chris D'Elia, right? And then Chris D'Elia, another guy who was like he was a comedian, he'd been working for his whole life. His whole life. He accomplished he accomplished all his dreams and then he was at the top of his game, big podcast, right? Huge specials. And then these stories come out where these young girls come out and they say, "Hey, I was underage and Chris D'Elia was talking to me." Right? And then everybody's all right, cancel Chris D'Elia. Just on the accusation.
Watch out with that
But then the story comes out, he's like, "Oh yeah, here's the messages," right? And he shows the DMs and it's like, "Yeah, he was talking to them."
Too late.
But then he's like, "How old are you?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm 16." And then
And lying about their
right?
age.
They come to a show and they act like 21.
Y'all be lying about their age.
And so that's the problem is that it goes too far. Like the Weinstein shit, those examples, really ugly, fucked up
He had a lot of
situations,
power,
nasty,
too.
terrible people.
He could've
A
made
terrible
it
guy.
It is
Yeah.
fucked up.
I
Terrible
don't know
guy.
about
Real
none of them
bad.
motherfucking cases. The only shit that I was tripping off was the Weinstein shit.
Yeah.
And again, even with the
More
Weinstein
research,
shit, you
wow.
still have a decision
More
to make.
research.
Yeah, it's still a
You
choice.
still
It's
have
still
a
got a
choice.
choice. You still got a
Research
choice.
on that one.
Motherfuckers is still running with the shit
You
that they're
still
not supposed to
have
be
a
running with.
choice.
He can
And then
make
they're gonna come out and talk about the shit later. Like, can't do that.
He can make it so you never have a career again after. He got
And
he's
more.
got- you know
Nah,
what I
he
mean?
was doing more. You need to check that case out
So,
again.
like,
'Cause all the women may see
the
this shit,
initial
man.
like
Wow, that
encounter,
is nuts.
maybe he like forced it to a point where they didn't have a choice. It was either you get this
Weinstein was
or
tripping, boy.
I'm just gonna make it so you can
And
never
Epstein.
get a job again.
On dogs,
So you go with me.
dead
And then
dogs.
if he goes and tells him that, you got to think about it, right? He's gonna be like, oh, she's gonna go tell somebody right after this.
Okay, that's
He
reasonable.
probably has something.
Where's your fucking parent? Your
They're like
parents are selling their kids too. Can we talk about that?
I remember stuff when I was a kid, but I was never touched. So I don't remember a lot of shit.
Can we talk about
I don't even
that?
smoke
got
Should
a
I?
brain.
Okay. Since y'all want to get so motherfucking sensitive, Aaliyah, did her parents not sell her out? Prime
Oh,
fucking
without Kelly
Mad
Yeah.
at different cases
Which
though.
Aaliyah?
bro. It's the same fucking
It's
thing.
not the same fucking
That's
thing.
very
Yo.
different. That's very different because that's a kid
you talking
and that's
about?
crazy.
But she said
These are
they
people
were
that you talking about
13.
the same
Wait,
Weinstein
one
girls?
person
Talking
at a fucking time. She said, Alicia said,
Some of them were.
we're 13, right? So if you're 13, where's your fucking parent being in front of Einstein's face? Where's your parent?
First of
So
all,
then that means the
contract
13-year-old had it.
first.
So
Hold
the
on,
13-year-old
hold
didn't
on,
get a
hold
job.
on. We are so all over the map here.
Yeah.
Boom, nigga. Yo.
Let's center it back
Yeah.
in,
We're
okay?
getting too kind
Yo,
of
this shit is
examples.
wild. I'm
Yeah,
live
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I don't even go live.
So
Like, yo.
what you're saying, Fame, is the controversial opinion that there needs to be some responsibility on the person that says, "All right, I'll suck your dick for this role."
Regardless
Yeah.
of age. So if
No, I don't want to talk about kids.
No, let's
Kids
not-
is a whole
Because we
fucking.
she
We're talking about
brought up
18. We're
kids,
talking about
and
adults.
that's why
you're
I
talking about
responded to
Weinstein and
you.
Epstein, that's what I'm saying. You should definitely check out the case. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So let's talk about grown. We're talking
I
about the
don't fucking
grown women, 18 plus, that were allegedly sexually assaulted by Weinstein. You're old enough to make that decision.
So do you
Take
see
this
like
Oh,
R. Kelly stuff
fucking-
too then, as well? Do you feel like that about the R. Kelly cases?
R. Kelly was an underage thing. That's totally
It was
different.
literally on
Niggas
camera.
said R.
That's
Kelly.
totally different.
You said it, Lee. I just dropping different cases to get a
Yeah,
point
yeah,
over.
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
just be doing that.
This is about adults making a
I made it
decision.
specific. Y'all
Right.
keep putting
Yeah.
shit in. I made it
You
very
said
specific.
Aaliyah.
No, I did
You
not.
said Aaliyah.
I said because
Hold
she
on.
mentioned a 13-year-old, so I brought it up because if you want to talk about 13-year-old kid should not be in front of a fucking A&R. A 13-year-old kid should not be by themselves in front of a movie director without their motherfucking child.
That era in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was
So parents
different.
sold their kids. Since you want to talk about the 90s,
You don't know that.
they sold their
70s,
fucking
it wasn't
kids.
sold, it was
That's
just that
another
era.
topic.
It
That's
wasn't
another
sold.
topic
That
to be
shit's
talking
wild.
about.
Said
We're
they
not
should be
talking
able to
about
say
that.
no.
We're not
So
talking
that
about
means
that.
it must apply to the kids too then. What you
No,
saying?
we're not talking about that. So if you're 18 plus, if you're 18 fucking plus,
At that age,
and
you was doing a lot. It was
been
like,
drinking tonight.
like
You
I
been don't know.
know.
drinking
It's
tonight.
not acceptable, but
I saved my niggas.
yeah, I have been drinking, but I
We
do.
litty.
Yeah,
We
no,
litty.
my opinion. That's just that. If you disagree,
litty.
you can disagree. But
Everyone has a
me
choice.
drinking has nothing to do
I
with my
think-
opinion.
So Fame.
The fuck?
So you're saying like the victims,
Alright.
there's some responsibility on the people, on the women
Yeah, this
that they
nigga,
made
man.
that decision, right?
This nigga.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's also
It's not right.
It's also like not true that like Weinstein is or those types of guys are terrible pieces of shit, right? That shouldn't say suck my dick for the role, right? It should be a professional environment where you're good enough or you're not.
I can't have the side conversations, please. Thank you.
Right? Like those two, like it's like those two things can be true at the same time a little bit, don't you think?
Did you want to say something, Q? Oh, I think the topic's too sensitive.
Oh shit!
I'm good. I got it.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, I think the topic's
Oh my god, we got how many? Yo, y'all niggas still watching this shit? Yo, y'all niggas watching this shit? Yo.
Right, like those two things can coexist, right? It's not like either the girl's
It's a
wrong.
controversial topic. Even people at home feel exactly how you do, man.
You sound crazy, nigga. That's what I'm talking about.
That's fine. I'll sound crazy. The fuck?
Because fam, you also think it's fucked up that a man would do that.
It is absolutely fucked up.
Hold the fuck up.
The fuck? It is absolutely fucked up.
This is wild.
You know your position. You hold.
Where am I gonna put this shit? Hold on, I'm just put that right there. Muffle.
He died at an early age.
Hold on.
Yo, I'm prepared, bro.
I don't need to be alive.
That does not make anybody. You holding a high position, and you know you're taking advantage of that position. Of course, it's not right. Me being a movie director, and you come to me and you want to act. You think I'm gonna tell you, Julian, come suck my pussy for this role?
Would you do it? Would you say no?
Yes or no? Would you suck this pussy to take this role?
And you even know where the box been at, so it's like you can't even put yourself in that position. Like, shit, man. Would I do it? What's the question?
I'm Einstein.
What'd you do it? Hold on, what'd you do it?
For a movie role.
Speaking facts though.
She says, Nick, do you want to be famous?
That's this is my opinion, right? All right. I'm an artist, right? I'm an artist, right? So I feel like when it
if a lady just asks you to suck her clit and eat her pussy for a movie role,
I feel like
would you
or
do
for
it?
I feel like I feel like listen, god damn it, I can't even I feel
Say yes or no first.
I wouldn't.
Say why.
On dogs, the reason why is because it's like that's kind of like degrading yourself as like a person that you gotta strip down to like get that role, because technically if you didn't even have that opportunity to go eat some box for that role, you ain't getting no fucking role anyway. So it's like you can't even set your standards that low to just go ahead and do that. Like don't get me. It's an opportunity. You feel me? But it's like you gotta know your worth as a person, bro. You feel me? Like I'm not about to go.
So that means that you share Fame's opinion.
I
Yeah,
don't agree with these niggas and what they do and how they play their roles. But me, if I'm in a high ass position and I feel like, hey, you want a feature?
You want the feature?
Do you want the feature?
How bad you want it? How bad you want it?
Hold on.
I'm gonna pass on that shit.
Hold on, right? Obviously, there's nothing you can offer me. I got the money. There's nothing you can offer me. What the fuck you gonna pay for a role? You're gonna pay for a role.
You got the
I don't
talent.
need your money.
If you got the talent, because that's how you doing the role, right?
Right.
Right.
But there's so many talent out there. You think I need you?
Yeah, no bullshit. They got other people.
No.
Yeah,
I can find the next person. You can roll, but we can't smoke.
Yeah, roll that shit.
So I think that's the point, right? And that's the thing that nobody ever says. Is 'cause it's always the focus on the male, which is where it should be. Right, on the man being nefarious.
Right, but let's focus on the women today.
Well, do you think that's useful though?
What do you mean?
Because the problem is that the men are doing that and putting these women in those positions where they're forced to make this really, really hard decision. Because maybe they put their fucking whole life on this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they're like, shit, what's sucking a dick? Fuck it. You know? But then they feel shitty about it. So they get put in that position, which is a really terrible position. And so the worst part of it all, right, is the man putting them in that position. So that should be the focus. So do you think it's useful to even say, well, like, hey, ladies, like, you also shouldn't do that? I think it maybe is in a way, but like...
I'm getting down to that. Yeah. That's why I'm calling these people weak.
Yeah.
Oh, but listen, boom, right? So
that's why I call them weak, because you were not strong enough. I declined that $17. I still don't have money. My rent still due, and I'm still looking for a $25 to $30 an hour job. Although my rent is still due, and I'm still in time of desperation, I'm still going to different auditions. Do I really have to get this role?
No.
I think.
No,
like,
you're ashamed of yourself 20 years later because you know you made a fucking bad decision.
Exactly. Oh, my fault. The chair. My fault. I'm moving around in the chair.
When people was wearing baggy jeans and the the economy was down and we're wearing clothes like this. And
Again, it's your
food,
decision.
I think people made this. There's a lot of decisions. We didn't have to go outside wearing baggy clothes like that.
It's a decision. It's a decision.
Like,
Again,
Yeah.
they're hard decisions, but we are adults and we're old enough to
Yeah,
make these
I know,
decisions, and that's why we make
it's
this.
not even that too. We didn't know the quality of diamonds. We didn't know the
Wait,
quality.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
You talking about Minecraft, nigga? Diamonds, nigga.
It's like rappers, they was wearing platinum chains and all that
I know what
before,
he's talking
and
about.
now they're actually wearing diamonds and
Yeah.
shit that's like
Real.
Right.
real.
Yeah.
It's like you wearing,
I think I saw that. Yeah.
you wearing like this custom piece. This custom piece is not worth nothing. You might as well get. Oh, I got stock. You got custom rims.
So wait,
You
are
might as well get
rappers
stock rims.
are rappers sucking dick for chains?
Is that what you're
I don't know
saying?
about none of that.
Is that what you're saying? Bring that shit up.
I mean, they are worth a lot of money.
Let's
so.
talk about that.
You know why I think it is important and a little bit useful to bring up for young girls growing up, because they need that lesson to not just be like, because if you don't talk about it at all, right, then it kind of paints the women as like helpless. And
Helpless.
This man did this to me and I
Foolish.
had no choice.
No bullshit.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're not, but it is good to say like, hey, make sure you fucking stand up and say no in this situation, because little girls growing up should.
Yeah,
'Cause I was
as an
I
example,
want my
yeah.
daughters to be like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know.
Facts. So my advice to
Or
every
say yeah and then no, never mind. I was gonna say bite it, but I don't even want that either.
listen,
You better bite the bullet, nigga.
my advice, because I know a lot of people thinking like, bitch, what the fuck are you saying? I'm not against women. I'm not for these men that is doing these things to women. You feel me? But Dave Chappelle said, "How you gonna make it in the industry?" Dave Chappelle said, "How you gonna make it in the industry?"
What do you
And
mean by that?
honestly, to me, I don't know what he meant too. Those were his quotes. How you gonna make it in the industry?
Meaning that you have to make those choices in order for you
These
to get
are
famous.
choices
Yeah.
that you have to make. So if
get
you're going
out
to,
there.
this is why you have, and I'm gonna use Black China again. And the reason why I'm gonna use Black China is because her baby.
She has no
Hold
career.
on, that is her fucking career. Stop saying that. Her baby father, right? He's.
The baby fathers.
I'm not finished saying what I'm saying. So her baby father tried to expose T.I. and Tiny and said, "Oh, that's why y'all pay China."
Crazy. My fault. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's why y'all pay China X amount of money to have sex with y'all.
Tiger said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
This is Rob Kardashian, Black China's baby father.
He said that about T.I.
T.I. and Tiny. Yeah, he said that's why y'all pay China to have sex with y'all. Did China did not?
Look like they would.
But hold on, they.
They
No.
definitely did.
But that's what people are trying to send these people to jail for. It's an even exchange, right? Is you not a pussy selling person, right? Is they not trying to pay for pussy?
Yeah, she probably did that to a
Right?
million people.
You feel me?
Even exchange. I see what
It's an even
Yeah.
fucking exchange. Where is the harm in that? For you to damage
Yeah,
somebody's career.
that type of
When it's
situation.
not-
You had to
when
get
it's
that
just
far with it, yeah.
prostitution, like,
Forced.
yeah.
Like you have no choice.
Where's
You know what I mean? That's,
Right.
That's when it's like.
Just don't fucking take the opportunity, my nigga. Like,
Well, there's always a
keep
choice.
pushing.
Right?
Yeah,
There's
but,
Unless it's really a gun
always
to your head or
choice.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
but in that moment, I feel like they were giving a choice that was sweeter than the choice. You know what I mean? Like they already went to like 50 casting calls.
Oh yeah,
and
it
it's
becomes
like, oh, I
really
just gotta
you
do
just
this
like
one
I need
thing,
this. Yeah,
And then in
yeah.
10 years from they have a family and then they regret it.
Yeah.
And now that everybody's coming out, I feel like they were like, okay, I'm just gonna let it out.
Or
maybe
it could
they
be
just
an
wanted some money or
opportunity to
something.
make
Who knows?
money.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
So
And
my
a lawsuit and a half. You know what I mean?
The old
Like,
shit was like the Weinstein thing. The new stuff is like this.
What
type
I'm
of
talking
stuff.
about,
This
yeah.
is a lot. This is way
Yeah.
different.
So with the Weinstein shit, I just want to tell every young aspired artist, creative, trying to get into the mainstream. Know what you're going in there for. Know
Yeah.
your value. Know who you are. If you're going in there alone, that might be dangerous. Try to team up with somebody. Try to find people that you can trust and that trust you. Don't go into an industry, into a space, knowing that you don't have like a right-hand person, a backbone
To back
person,
you
a
up.
second opinionated.
Second opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long story short, yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you have
Yeah.
something going into these industries, because if you don't, you're going to end up with all these crazy decisions that it's gonna be hard to make, such as sucking dick to get on a feature.
Gucci Man said that.
You feel what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Fact.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
not
why
saying nothing
I
wrong.
like this
You
discussion.
can disagree with what I say, and that's totally fine. This is my opinion, and this is how I feel what's going on in the industry. It's not right on both sides. It's not right for these high profile people to use their titles as an advantage to these young people that's trying to get into the industry. And it's also not right for these young people who made these decisions, right?
Shortcuts.
To whatever, if shortcut or not, you made the decision
To go do what you
to
got
do what
yeah.
you did. It's not right for you to fuck up somebody's life 20 years later, maybe because you went bankrupt or whatever. You need more cash.
It was good to
Right.
expose that culture existed, I think.
Yeah.
Because
That's
now
facts.
we can talk about it.
Mm.
And
It
now
was
you
good.
could be aware. And now you could be
Yeah.
smart. And now you could think 2-3 times before making a decision. Because shit like this will happen. You can get raped. You can get killed. You can be sold. You could be offered tons and tons of money. Or
Yeah.
just a little bit of dick for a roll.
True.
So what the fuck is you willing to do for it?
Yeah.
I see. That's what you did. Chicago.
Yeah, that's exactly, yep.
Yeah, you didn't get that at the beginning of the conversation.
Nah, that's facts. Yeah.
No, it's fucked up. It creates a whole shitty situation. Like, I'm sure that when
So I'm
you
independent, yeah, I
when
mean,
you go to
fucking
work
label.
with like a male, right, fame, you're probably wondering, are there some other motives here? You know what I mean? And I know that when a female comes here, and it's just me, like,
Wow.
I'm like, she's probably worried a little bit right
Yeah,
now. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you
I
never
try to be
know,
like
yeah.
super cool because I
That's
don't
'cause
want to
of all
like.
that stuff
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
know all that shit, and men are just gross, right? I'm just like, because we're just hornballs, but
Especially Weinstein.
you know, like that's. Yeah. but fucking yeah, it's a sticky situation to navigate. I think from both sides. When like if you're a good person, like then like you almost have to work like extra hard to make sure that
you straight, yeah.
stay that way,
Yep.
and like
Don't get
and then like
manipulated.
and then like there can be times too when like there is an actual attraction between the people.
Yep.
And,
it's
and
hard.
then you're like,
And
I
it's
don't
like,
want
yeah,
to say anything here
exactly.
because like I'm
You're
supposed
gonna
like
be a rapist.
you know like, yeah yeah
That's how it is, bro.
Yeah.
That is.
More of the story, don't shoot your shot if you're a dude. No,
Shit's hot out here. For dudes.
yeah.
It's crazy.
You
Yeah.
getting hit
The
every
90s,
time.
The 90s and 80s and 70s ruined everything. for
yeah.
them.
So I think that means that fame, if you like the
That's what
guy,
I'm saying,
you
man.
got to make the move
Yeah.
because he can't.
Ladies,
'cause you can say me
hear
too.
this shit? It seems like we gotta make the moves now since we're the one making the reports.
We need to
Yeah.
Right? Sell bombers.
Man.
Okay?
Especially that
So
social media
shoot your
shit.
shot so you don't think he's trying to rape you or something when he shoot his shot. Okay? People are gonna hate me.
That's tough.
Okay? But it's okay. I'm born to be hated.
I've been loving it.
Welcome
Okay.
to my world.
Okay.
No, that's tough.
So I really don't know how bad things are gonna get, because as being an aspired artist, trying to be mainstream, I'm nervous too. You get to thinking like, yo, what are you willing to do?
Mhm.
Now put yourself in these women's shoes. Did you have bills? Did you have rent? Did you have was you that desperate? I put myself in those people's shoes. And because I've been on my own since 15 years old, 15 years old, it's documented. I had my first apartment at fucking 17 years old. Okay? So I've been in these streets for a very long time. The longest I've stayed in my car, homeless, fucking close to 12 months, bitch. Close to 12 months. Not one time did I decide, okay, I'm gonna go strip. I'm gonna go sell my pussy.
Right.
I do human services. I care for, listen, I care for people and others. You know, this is what I do.
Right.
So, if there's no jobs right now, it's COVID, I still got bills. Well, limited bills because I'm in my car at this time, right? But I still got
that gas you gotta worry about.
I still gotta eat and gas and shit.
Yeah.
Phone bill still on, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I still need money to get around, you feel me? How I did it, how I do it, I don't know. I'm 24 years old. With a little hoopty,
right.
my own little crib, you feel what I'm saying? And not one time did I sit there and allow a nigga to say, okay, give me head so I could pay your rent. Not one time. So people, you're right, Q. People are weaker than others. You're right. People are stronger than others. People can make harder decisions within like the heat of the moment. And it's the best decision for them. But then others make poor decisions and the heat, it's always the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
That people make poor decisions.
No bullshit.
That's why they tell you breathe, relax before you make a hard decision. Right?
No, that's facts.
So again, everybody is an adult. 18 plus, you're an adult. If you encounter a situation like this, like I said, if you're a prostitute, you know what's bound to happen. You should expect what can happen to you. You go into T.I. and Tiny's house, you know that you going to get fucked for some money. You know, you go into Weinstein, you probably don't know this, but when he offers you this whatever he offers you, a little bit of dick for a roll.
Did he jacked off in the plant, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, he jacked off in the plant.
Yeah, he made the girl
her watch.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem
What is this nigga vegan or something?
He put me in a movie.
Nigga vegan or something?
Bro, get crazy, man.
They got creative.
What was it? A cat? It was a cactus, huh?
He's like, I ain't touched that bitch. Okay.
Yo.
So again, we're left with decisions to make, and as as much. Did you want to say something, honey?
No, I was just adding on to that shit. I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? That's definitely like a choice, and just because life is hard or whatever position you in, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean you have to like stoop that low to go do what you think is right because it's temporary. You know what I mean? And then if you get mad about it later, oops, that's your choice. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like just people just gotta like really like tap in within like themselves and shit and like really know what the fuck they getting into, cause like even me, like everything that y'all talking about, like I've been in positions where I've seen that, you know what I mean, like in the studio, like what's going on, you know what I mean, and like alright, time for me to go, you know what I mean, like, and that's how I've been like as an artist. Like I never like, I had people like sign me, like, record deals, all that, you know what I mean, like had to like really do shit for shit like that, and I never looked at it because I knew what my worth was as a person, like for females too, you know what I mean? Like y'all know that y'all got the opportunities where y'all can make it easier. A lot of guys, we gotta work a little bit harder for shit like that just to even get in position. Y'all might just gotta, do something simple like that, but it's like, even, I mean, but even still with that, you know what I mean? That's like a choice that is not easy to make, and if you gonna go down with it, know what you getting into and you know what that shit comes with, you know what I mean? Like,
it was really hard for women for up until fairly recently too. Like we're just getting like that whole Me Too thing was kind of like the last
I think
sort of like coming out of
not to be rude, I think all the like the lady woman that's like rapping as dolls kind of like broke it.
Broke what?
Like the female rappers.
Like the shit that they influence about, right? Yeah.
Into industry. Like, you know how it's like Cash Doll.
It's easy.
Asian
You mean
doll,
it's easy for female artists to get into the industry?
Not really, but
kind of than
right
it was
now.
I don't mean even just industry.
You still have to be like an Instagram model and stuff. They still got to show like.
I mean, in general, for women professionally, women couldn't even vote in like pretty recently. You know what I mean? Like,
there's only like 70 years ago. Well, now it's 2020, so it's
and women women were
20.
very disrespected in the workplace. Like
100 years ago.
you're like, you know, this age now, like the women before you, it was like wicked fucking
Shit,
hard.
women
It
was
was
free
wicked
before
hard.
black
Yeah.
people.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like traumatizing to me to see all of these 16, 17, 18-year-old kids with OnlyFans. I'm on TikTok, it's nothing but ass, and these kids are 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And you talking about back then where it was harder for women to even fucking vote. So now in 2021, you degrading so bad at 16, 15 years fucking old.
It's embarrassing.
15 years old, bitch. I didn't even know what sucking dick was. I had to know what paying rent was.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Right.
I don't even know what kids are doing now.
It's fucking a shame.
That generation
so yes,
is
these
Don't
topics
wanna know.
needs to be
Talked
talked
about.
about. Okay, and it's only going to be talked. I'm only going to say it as real as I can, so you can motherfucking get it. Shit isn't there's no handouts. There's no handouts, and if you're gonna take that handout, don't complain about it 20 years later. Don't fucking. I would never open my mouth knowing that I sucked some dick for a roll, and then talk about it 20 years later. I have fucking kids. Is that not embarrassing? You took
Yeah,
a
that's a force.
mommy. You took a roll by
Hold up
sucking
though.
dick.
A lot of them came out to
Yeah.
to expose the whole thing, to end it though, and that's valiant, I think.
Yeah.
It's valid.
But you see the
when it-
sacrifice that they had to make in order for them to do
Because
that.
it was,
though.
I'm sure they were heavily embarrassed coming out. A lot of
Yeah,
them.
naive.
You know what I mean? A lot of people like, you know, hopped on the bandwagon and shit like that. But the real ones, like, it was probably really tough. You know?
Yeah, and I salute people for talking because then we can have these conversations.
Yeah.
I salute each and
Well,
every
also
woman.
it eradicates that shit because that shit's got to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
it
know?
has to stop. It
So now
has
it's
to
not
stop
cool
using
anymore,
your
that's good.
roles. Stop using your titles. Stop it.
Yeah.
To
Overpower
get
somebody.
to overpower somebody. Perfect words.
Yeah.
Okay? And ladies, women, kids, girls. If you have no parents, teach yourself self-value.
There you go.
Self-value.
Yeah. And if,
You heard of this thing, mileage? Your mileage runs out. If your bitches be 24
Mileage?
trying to get their
Yeah.
bodies done.
yeah.
24 years old. I want to be 50 trying to get lipo. Now motherfucking 24 years old, bitch. Bitches be 24, 23 years old getting their bodies done. What's going
Facts.
Because of Instagram filters.
What the fuck is going on? No, because
They
they
trying to
bodies
keep up.
washed up.
Yeah.
That's why.
They brainwashed.
It's fucking washed up.
They brainwashed.
Okay?
No
I'm
bullshit.
dead ass serious, okay? Dead serious on dead dogs. Us women need to do better, okay? So we're not looked at, cause what makes it worse for the next woman when you do something like that and do the YouTube movement, it makes it hard for women, like for the rest of us women, to try to get into the industry, cause now these niggas are thinking that we're targeting them. Okay, they're gonna think that we're targeting them.
So that's kind of true, right? In the sense that like the women, especially it's not the women that like really had something gross happen to them, like they should talk about that, but it's the ones that go overboard, like maybe those comedian examples I was talking about, because that makes it so like sometimes I think about it, right? Like, you know, do I want to bring a woman here alone? Like, is that going to expose me to some trouble potentially, right? And that's like obviously fucking way less to worry about than what you women have to worry about. Where you're worried about like getting raped and shit like that. Like,
We just gotta worry about y'all just running your
but
mouth and
it
saying
does
some
it
shit.
does
like,
make it so that like, because like you don't want to lose opportunities, right? So like, it does kind of make it in a way like a thing where it's like it could if women go too overboard claiming shit, then it could actually have a negative effect on them where they start to miss out on opportunities because we're as men scared to have women around.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So if if us women know what we want and we know our value and we walk into a job interview and they offer us not our desired salary, what the fuck you gonna do? Decline it and walk the fuck out.
Yeah.
You don't take that shit. Cause people always think there's not another opportunity. There might not be another opportunity. I might not meet another person like this. That is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because like life goes on, things is gonna happen. You
Facts.
know, like.
Facts.
And if you self-talk yourself that way, oh, I gotta do this shit right now because I might not really get another chance. You're not gonna get another chance because you done planted that shit in your head, and now you're about to make the decision that you don't want to make.
Facts.
That you don't want to make, and then what?
But that's all you're worth, yeah.
Yep. Now you gone. Now they own you and all that shit. Yep.
Okay, and then years later, you're embarrassed by your situation, so you come out with it, claiming you're trying to help other women, but really, like, you look. I feel like people do look stupid. Honestly, you do. You gonna take up an opportunity after you done made money, and now you're gonna say, "Oh, I was taken advantage of." Okay.
What about, is that the same thing with Bill Cosby?
No, Bill Cosby was drugging women and raping them.
Drug
That was totally fucked up.
There was not even a choice. Like, not even a. That nigga was just.
Allegedly, these are what the women are
I don't know,
saying.
'cause it's like,
Allegedly.
Hey, man.
Nigga
said free Bill Cosby.
That said, right? You could.
I never said
It's the
that.
same thing.
So check it out though. So I mean, you could
Cosby.
make a little bit of
Hey.
you could make a little bit of Fame's argument even with that potentially, right? Because they put themselves in a hotel room alone with this guy. They accepted a drink or whatever that was drugged. You know, I mean, like those are the type of things that you probably want to not do as well.
Bring your
I mean,
own weed. Bring your own.
he's the bad guy, and he should
Straight.
be in jail for that shit, and he's a terrible person, all that. But to kind of along the lines of Fame's point, I think, right?
Yeah.
You gotta fucking watch out
Yeah.
and be smart about that, and
Yeah.
not go there. I
Facts.
think, right?
Yeah, that's the point of it.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. You don't want to go too far with victim blaming and shit like that, I guess. But
You don't want to victim blame, but sometimes,
No, but
right?
Yeah.
Niggas be like, "Yo, I'm about to smack this bitch," and I be like, "What she do? What did she do for you to smack her?" Instead of being like, "Okay, go smack her, go smack her." Usually, it's like, you know, or this nigga just put his hands on me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sorry. What did you do? What did you do?
No, not that
What
one.
did you do?
Not that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
There's not victim. I mean,
Can't hit women.
you cannot hit women.
Can't hit
Absolutely.
Bathroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
down the bottom stairs, yeah.
That. But like I said, I'm that type. What did you do? Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm that type. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, so, okay, prime example, right? I've been, since I was like 10 years old, this hood dude that he's my, like, one of my close friends.
Okay.
Her brother. So since I was young, I was always fond of him. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, like, he's a drug dealer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like 9 years older than me. Okay? Years go by, and we actually get together. We start dating and shit like that or whatever. So it was all good until the first time he put his hands on me, right? Right then and there, that's an important piece.
You found out he was a pussy.
I found out he's a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? But he sells drugs. He makes money. I don't want to work. I help him push his stuff. You know, I find this street stuff intriguing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I do, my dumb ass don't leave. I stay with him, right? That's a decision that I made, knowing the outcome.
Yeah.
That
Facts.
this nigga, he kept.
Yeah.
He pulled out a pistol before I continue going back.
Yeah.
So if I got
Right.
hospitalized, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get really personal, and I never really do. Okay. So one time, literally, I was held hostage in my own crib with a gun by a dude. Okay.
Damn.
And right then and there, it was just like fuck. I was just like fuck. Yeah, like my time is up. Like I'm like fuck this shit. I'm done with like I said, I've been out on my own since 15 too. So when I hit this breaking point, it was just like fuck it. My life is over. Fuck it. Like, you know what? I'm done for like a whole day straight. And this dude is like a drinker, but those type of drinkers that don't get drunk and knock out. You know, drinkers that drink and
Yeah,
continuously drink.
get lit. Yeah,
Yeah.
alcoholics.
Super.
Yeah, they don't never
Alcoholics.
get drunk. Yeah. So I really knew my life was over that day. I thought my life was over that day because, you know, it was just nerve-wracking. So to my surprise, I wake up out of a nap, dude sleep too. The pistol's right there. So what do? I'm like, I've been beaten so many times.
If
This
you
is-
shot him, don't say it right now.
No, I'm not gonna. No,
About to end this live. Like, yo,
Now let me finish. So
that shit going crazy.
So I see the gun and my heart's pacing, right? So I'm like, hold on, I'm about to pick this shit up, and it's like laying by his, like right there by his arm or whatever.
Oh,
So I'm just like, yo, should I get the, like, what should I do? So I like, how you call it, snuck. So I snuck around him and grabbed it.
Damn.
Grabbed it, and I'm like, do you got it in you? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna get dead.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? That's at the point of time that I was at, and already I took the blame for me being in that decision, in that situation. Why? Because, like I said, the first time he put his hands on me, I did not leave him.
Yeah.
I stayed, right? So now I got this gun in my hand. I'm pointing this shit at this dude. He's asleep, knocked out, snoring. Like he's snoring. He's
about to
already
give
dead.
this dude a real bad nightmare.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't waking up
So
from that.
I'm just like this, right? And then I'm like, what if he wakes up and then he sees this shit in my hand and it backfires? You know what I'm saying? So I better make a decision quick, right? It was empty. Long story short, it was empty. Okay.
Damn.
Yes, it was empty.
Bro.
Yo.
It was empty.
How did this
So you
shit
already
end
know
up?
how that already went.
How
He
did
was lucky. It was empty, right?
Bro.
I walk. So from there, I had a bat. Usually, if you know me, you know I carry bats. I have
Harley
like
Quinn.
metal shit in my, like, behind my doors in my house and shit like that in my trunk.
Did
Yeah.
you cock it back?
Huh?
Did you cock it back?
There's no more details.
Oh,
No more
okay.
details.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So
It was
I had,
empty. It was
no,
empty.
Yeah, it was empty. No, now that I had the bat or whatever, I knocked him one time in the head and I
Oh,
packed my shit and I left. Mind you, this is my crib.
Shit.
My crib.
You're a survivor.
At 17, 18 years old, nigga.
Jesus Christ.
I take my shit and I
Y'all
dip.
hear this shit? This shit's
And I
wild.
dip. Right? From there, it's just
Life went on.
life went on, right?
Yeah.
So 10, 20 years later, 15 years from that point on to even my standpoint right now, I never held him responsible for my trauma. And this is becoming very emotional for me because I've never blamed him for my trauma because, like I said, I made that fucking stupid ass decision. If I would have killed that nigga, I would have been doing that time.
Yeah.
Why? Because when he hit me, I decided to fucking go back. Instead of being strong because I didn't have money, because I didn't want to fucking work. Okay? So we all make fucking hard decisions under the fucking heat of the moment. But is you strong enough? Sometimes we're not.
Yeah. No, that's facts. That's just crazy. Like,
That's
Okay.
real shit, yeah.
no, that's
That's
So
big
I'm
of you
so-
to take
Yeah, that
so much
shit's crazy.
responsibility for all that. That's really hard to do.
So that's why I look at these people that's making with the YouTube movements. It's like, bruh, you made that decision. You feel what I'm saying? You made that decision. You feel me?
yeah.
So now you're putting the blame on somebody else, and I don't think that's okay. Okay.
Right.
So that's my opinion, guys. Okay, and it's okay for you to totally not agree with it, because like you said, we all come from different lives and livings. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. I would have said no to Weinstein straight off the bat. Fuck you, nigga. You feel me? Other people aren't that strong to have said that. I could go being homeless. I went homeless 9 to 12 months. People aren't mentally, emotionally strong enough to do that. They will fuck the dirtiest nigga in the hood just to have a fucking place to stay, to lay. You feel what I'm saying? Degrading themselves. They will sleep with anybody just so they could be safe. Not even safe, but so they're not sleeping in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? One thing about me, I always took my last dime and always had a car. Because being young, I'm still 24. I'm only 24. You feel what I'm saying? So not being able to afford market rent. And I live in Boston, Massachusetts. We from Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You feel me? At 24, at 17 years old, I was paying market rent. You feel me? So I understand things being hard and decisions being hard. If anybody, no 40-year-old woman can tell me that no, because I've been through shit as a 40-year-old woman would. You feel what I'm saying? As a 12-year-old kid would. You feel what I'm saying? So I would know, despite of my fucking age. So I'm validated to speak how I speak.
Yeah, I think this is kind of you're using some really tough lessons to like demonstrate the point that you really do have to strive. I think it's really important in life to like really try to take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Like find a way to take responsibility for it. You know, if you're, especially if you're in like a leadership role, like and people are fucking up, like that are under you, like that's your fault. You know, if you are in bad circumstances, like figure out where you made decisions that led you there. Right. You know, and really own that shit, and because it always leads to better results when you take responsibility for things in your life. Not
just that, but like life is like, you know, it's crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that's happening right now. We talking about quarantine, we talking about bad shit, you know what I mean? Like people not being able to work, jobs, all types of shit. And it's like, you know, like I said, like life is hard and all, and you know, people make the choices they make. I feel like in life, you never sell yourself short, you know what I mean, with what you do, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, like, me hearing your story, like, you know, going through homeless shit, I went through that same shit, sleeping out, all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, and it just, I turned that, like, you know, that sadness and depression into, like, hunger, you know what I mean? For me to, like, get on my shit, you know what I mean? Instead of, like, all right, fuck it, you know what I mean? Just saying fuck it and doing whatever the fuck I need to do, you know what I mean? Like, or blame somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, dead ass, just be on your shit, you know, pick yourself up, dry your tears, and grind, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, just because one door closes, that don't mean another one won't open, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how you gotta move. That's how I move, you know what I mean? Like, with it, man, on dogs, you know what I mean? And just, I mean, like, on top of, like, you know, females are like really like y'all go through like different like emotions and shit, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like y'all be in y'all feelings about shit that be happening to y'all in life too, you know what I mean? Guys too, you know what I mean? And just I feel like, you know, with that being said, it's like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like me personally as a dude, we're trained in society to be tough. You know what I mean? To just it is what it is, you know what I mean? And
like that, it's like it doesn't even matter.
You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, but like
I need a question. I'm gonna ask you something.
Nigga, I'm not going all the way back over here. I'm macking right now, boy.
What the nigga do is think of.
Okay, so you didn't have a. Wait, did you have a? Did you disagree with me? I want to hear somebody's opinion that disagreed.
Nigga, you know I disagree.
I think you're right.
So that's why I wanted to hear your closing statement. Do you want to come back up?
Hell no.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Did you disagree with what I was saying? I just want.
Oh, you got the mic on, Q.
I just want to.
Oh shit.
I just wanted to hear like somebody's.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Like, and it needed to be heard and talked about.
I got the mic. I already spoke. They heard me. I got the mic. They heard what I said. Yeah, I said.
I didn't hear you.
You did. I said I disagree.
Yeah, but I wanted to hear your.
I disagree because I believe before.
Disagree to disagree.
Making opinions based off your own reality is just ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. And also, without knowing details, you're speaking on a lot of women that may in the future support you. So I just think you should just, you know.
I'm not backtracking what I said. Okay, that's enough.
You don't gotta
cool.
back.
So anybody else have last closing? Anybody has any closing?
Alright, that's a fucking.
Anybody has any?
Fucking do that shit to me.
Anybody has?
Fuck out of here.
Anybody else has any last minute things to say?
I got something to say.
Go ahead.
No, that shit is fucking wild.
I feel like those women that suck dick or whatever they did to get to the top, I feel like that's cheating, and it's like ruining chances for the other women that really work hard.
Just suck some dick now, baby.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Thank you.
I feel like it kind of ruins the integrity of who you are. Like, how far are you gonna get if you just keep sucking dick to get and you don't have actual talent and you're not good? You know what I mean? And those people that are good are like losing their chance because they chose somebody else just because she sucks some dick. You know?
That's a good point, and that's what Dallas and I did speak on shortly. That it is cheating, kinda. You feel what I'm saying? Because if Weinstein say suck a little bit of dick for the role, and you suck that little bit of dick, what about the women before you that you know that decided no, but worked their entire lives at 25, 30 years old, but worked, went to school, studied this shit. They couldn't get the role, and they worked for it.
True. But also, like, they don't have to deal with that for the rest of their lives if they did that. You know what I mean? So it's not.
I'm talking about Black China and them.
Black China don't complain. Because she
It's
knows
not
her
that.
role.
I'm saying that
She knows her role and
took
she plays her
actual
role.
good artists.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She knows
Yeah.
that's her job. So I don't think she will ever make the allegations speak out on Tiny and her husband.
Because she accepted what she do.
This is what she does in this industry. You know what I'm saying? This is what she does. She gets paid. You know, before she even had this baby and became mainstream, this is what she was doing. She was sleeping with all these rappers, Amber Rose. That's what they were doing. The industry needs this. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think we heard them. Amber Rose just said stop slut shaming. She's proud to be a slut, but she said don't call me out for me living in my truth. That's right. And I'm sure she's had shit done to her. I'm sure she's probably been taken advantage of. But because she knows that's the line of work that she's in, I don't think China or Amber Rose is ever going to speak out against people.
People don't think about that. Like, me, I walk around life like I'm 27, fuck everything in the past. Like,
Keep it pushing,
yeah,
like,
I know,
again.
but some people, it's like, yo, you know, even if it's not like, you know, like them being touched, it can be like, oh, they talk to me like this certain type of way, or they treat me like this, they treat me like that, or they act like this. It's like some people walk with aggression, well, not aggression, well, you know, whatever.
With animosity, or they're just weak.
Psychological problem.
Yeah, and it's like some people just forget about it.
I think
like,
people
shit
are-
in the past, so some people
That would be
like, you know,
traumatic, though. That's hard to.
Yeah.
That's hard to brush off.
Trauma.
You know?
Yeah, but your trauma,
Think about right now, if I leave you
your
out, it's
trauma,
Yeah.
you place your trauma on somebody, right?
What do you mean?
You place your trauma on somebody, right?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Meaning like,
Putting the blame on them.
yeah, you
For
took
the
the
experience,
role.
yeah.
No, sit your fucking ass down. Don't go.
I've been here for like 4 hours.
Check what's with that clip real
All right,
quick.
so no. So hold on. All right.
So,
I just want to say thank you to each and every one today that came on High Street, and for y'all that chimed in. You didn't talk today. You don't have. What do you
He got his
think?
mask on. That's
What do you
why.
think?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Shock attack?
What's up with
Shaq,
that?
what do you think on today's topic?
I feel like this is it's a very maybe traumatic topic for a lot of people, so it's just very
It's
sensitive.
sensitive. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to really it's a lot to really take
You want
it.
to shot at 1738?
Yeah.
yo, bro, let me get some.
Fame, thank you for saying some hard stuff, and especially for you know,
Anybody?
some really personal stories, and that's some stuff that was clearly really emotional.
Yeah.
for
I
you.
mean,
So that's
that's
just
what we do,
Strong
and
as fuck.
we trying to thank you.
I think that could help some people.
Yeah, and I hope it does. I really hope it does help each and every aspiring artist, creative. Know what you're getting yourself into, okay? Knowing that you have decisions to make.
I think,
No?
I think,
Okay.
and I don't want to, and please tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think, right, like, what you're saying is, like, if you're coming up as an artist, you might be put into some tough spots. And
You
don't,
will.
And don't feel like you have to make those
Y'all hear that
bad
shit?
decisions. That's what you're saying, like, you don't have to do that.
You
Don't
don't
do
have
that shit.
to.
That's the message that you're trying to leave people
Yes,
with, right?
everybody's
Oh my
not going to
God.
be celebrities. Everybody's not going to be actors and actresses, singers and rappers. Okay? If you get declined multiple times, if you can't keep going anymore, don't sell yourself short by taking on this, by just doing this fake, whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying? Don't. If you've been working this hard, don't take this shortcut. You feel what I'm saying?
keep grinding, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, everybody's not meant to be there. You feel what I'm saying? And people want to be there so badly, and it's not meant for them. And that's why they do shit like that. And it don't even last long. But let's cut this shit short, okay? In all, Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for watching a very special episode of the Fame Jackson podcast.
Y'all
Are we
saw
good?
that shit?
We totally good. Hold on. If you
Everybody get their plugs. Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
disagree with today's topic, definitely let us know. We'll post it. Leave your comments. Leave if you agree, say you agree. If you don't, then you don't. But let us hear what your thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks to Nick24K.
You know
What's the
fucking
Instagram?
vibe.
At
Yo,
Nick24K?
add me, Nick24K, Instagram, all that, man.
Man, what else we
YouTube,
got?
new shit coming soon, man. You know how we coming
we
out.
might have something coming right now.
Coming, yes, sir, man. I tried to, man, shit, I ain't going
Well, we did it live
ain't
on
gonna
YouTube,
spoil
so
it
it's
too
no
much.
secret, right?
Yeah, man, it's
All
getting
right, cool.
crazy.
Shout out to High Street and the new shit that's coming out by Nick24K, okay?
Yep.
Shout out to my man, my audio engineer, the
Yes,
best. The best, okay? Lucan, okay?
Like,
Thank you,
subscribe,
Sean.
notification
Welcome
bell.
home.
Yes, sir.
My comment, Julian, Shaq, Leisha, baby.
Oh my God.
Okay, guys, this is the Benji Maxson podcast. Till next week, guys, with Dallas Rose.
Peace.
Shit.
I had to get on my grind. Excuses be wasting my time. I need the bag, I need the cash. All of this money is mine. I am not passing the piff. Cause they only around when you lit. You wasn't with me in the gym. I don't recall on you shit.
I had to get on my grind. Used to be with my time. I need a bag, I need the cash. All of the money is mine. I turned no water into wine. I parted the sea many times. Now you wanna drip on my side. Here's when bitch you gon' drown.
I remember them days, broke as fuck, pitching on the block. My man had the white and I had the weed. Running from cops, had to get off the scene. Risking our life for some green and some dreams. Burning up tips to be wrapping them up. This ain't for Christmas, we flipping them bucks. Just another rebel with a master plan. Bitch, I want it all like the white man. Need it all like I'm penny pitching. The way I'm flipping, think I'm Richard Nixon. Got my rebels gripping like the Cobra living. Different rap, you can tell I'm gifted. Speak the bars like a jail visit. I came in this game just for one mission. All of my rebels just pay attention. Be a witness to that new shit. They get your mind right, that third eye sight. Gotta stay woke, cause they sleeping on me. Circle real small, I'm the only homie. Dirty by my lonely, ain't no you and I. Me, myself, and I is how I can't ride. I came from the bottom with nothing to eat. When I needed help, y'all did nothing for me. Out in these streets, and I just had to get it. Robbing alone, cause y'all wasn't with it. Self-made, now I'm counting these digits. Anybody said I wouldn't do it, now I did it. I come from the bottom, I come from the trenches. A nigga been poor, but be rich in a second. I started with nothing, but I died a legend. I do shit, there's no second guessing. I had to get on my grind. Excuses be wasting my time. I need the bag, I need the cash. All of this money is mine. I am not passing the piff. Cause they only around when you lit. You wasn't with me in the gym. I don't recall you shit.
I don't owe you niggas shit. Why you look at me, call me a myth. We shoot in the gym, we little bitch quit. Little niggas wanna hit and can't touch your rim. We don't go half on the belt. My nigga, he sit in the cell, he ain't got no bill. First look, I was told, had to do it myself. Stick a nigga myself up. Came up from the shelf. I came up with no wealth. In the kitchen, I'm picking like chef. 12 come, I'm running out of breath. Pop a pill, give me head. Nigga, can't fuck, got a man. Nigga, self-made, can't tell me shit. I came up from the basement. No G's, they moving like rats. These niggas, they all on my ass. It's like I was made in the past. Got the old bitch swag, got the old bitch cash. These old bitch looking mad. Self-made, self-paid, I'm faded. Pick us up tonight, celebrating. Yeah. Now that I'm on my grind, fuck